It's an age-old question. What is my preferred classic Sonic game? And often enough, I answer Sonic 2. It's no wonder with its scenic and fast-paced stages, fantastic music, and of course, our buddy Tails was introduced. And as much as I love these two, I'm a bit tired of them. And I would love to experience my favourite Mega Drive game with other characters. But not Knuckles either. I'm talking from Amy, Megaman, and oh no.
Who needs Hedgehog?
As you can see, these all run on emulators just fine. But what we want to know is, do they work on real hardware? But you agree with me, right? Seeing the same person on screen all the time can get boring.
Let's give someone else a chance.
So let's switch out the characters and try Amy and Cream in Sonic 2 Pink Edition. If you're a fan of Sonic Advance 2, you may feel right at home here. Amy has no spin attack, but she makes up for it with her Pico Pico hammer. Smash, somersault, or bounce into your enemies with ease. In fact, she doesn't even need her mallet, she can just headbutt Eggman to death if she wants. Now that's what I call using your head. Or you could make her slide to her demise instead. It's entirely your choice. There are also some alternate routes if you make use of her skills to explore, and some can even lead you to a secret level. Otherwise, it's still the base Sonic 2 experience. Cream is based on Tails' moveset with the addition of being able to fly. I forget sometimes that he couldn't fly in Sonic 2, so what was the purpose of him? Oh, look at me, I have my pilot's license, big whoop. To set her apart, she is also toting around her weapon of choice, Cheese the Chow. Spam the A button and the Chow will lock onto the closest target and attack, though he cannot cheat the special stages as he's too short for the ride. And as per the norm, obtaining all of the emeralds grants Super Amy. And for making Cheese do all her dirty work, Cream doesn't deserve a transformation, thus does not get one. Nevertheless, Big can. Oh yes, Big is in this ROM hack. He can't spin attack either, but he can get his rod out and whip the badniks out of submission. The purple cat can float on the water surface too, which is nice, and you have an optional mission of finding Froggy to end the zone early. No errors to report, the gameplay was pleasant, yet I did notice this horrific glitch with Cream appearing in Big's knee when he's in this animation, but I'll just push that aside. Does Sonic 2 Pink Edition work on real hardware? Yes. Well, Cream may have delegated her responsibilities there, but do you know who works even better as a team?
Oh, who?
It's the classic duo. It's my pals, Ray and Mighty. Acting as if they've been ported directly from Sonic Mania, they carry over their properties with Mighty being able to drill attack to the ground and Ray blissfully gliding through the air. The squirrel's flight is still complicated to control, but once you get the hang of it, you can scope hidden items or take a diverse path. That's all Ray brings to the table, yet I forgive him. He's so cute. I mean, look how jumped he is on earning his continue. Mighty, on the other hand, is more serious. He can punch into the ground to access exclusive areas, which the author of this hack made good use of with their imagination. Not only that, the armadillo can knock monitors from the air to the floor for very easy reach. His hardened shell, once again, protects him from all types of pointy objects, and can even deflect danger away. This does make his playthrough an easy experience, yet I had a lot of fun this way. Now, both characters have the chance to get all the emeralds, and when you've collected 50 rings, a notice slides onto the HUD alerting you that you can harness their superpowers. However, only when the A button is solid. Because when you're running along the terrain or are in a place where transforming is impossible, the A button flickers rapidly. I can see what they were going for with the transparency effect here to signal that you can't change forms, but it's so distracting that I'd rather it not be there at all. I digress. Both of our heroes can become super. It's a shame you can't get one to follow the other, yet they both got to the end of Sonic 2 with zero consequences. Does Mighty and Ray in Sonic 2 work on real hardware? Without a doubt, yes. That's 2 triumphant games so far. But guess who's making a reappearance?
Oh, I know.
That's right, it's our girl, our favorite from the Freedom Fighters, Bunny Rabbot. She rocked Sonic 1 and she's back for more.
Think you could do it, Bunny? Okay, don't panic. That's just the sound of her boots lifting her into the air. Just like in the prequel, she's able to rev her engines for a boost and can extend her arm to destroy badniks and obtain items, which is seriously needed as she isn't able to curl into a ball to attack baddies unless forced by a tube or such. Otherwise, the art is as clean as before and she looks great. Shame everyone else has developed jaundice though. Bunny can also become super and the animations are beautiful, except for when she's going so fast she suddenly starts using her head as a soccer ball. Now, gameplay was going smoothly, but in Chemical Plant, the game crashed when I was about to enter this pipe. With no saving feature available, I was forced to start again, but then wow! I am not sure how the Genesis is still running, but this was terrifying and is one heck of an eyesore. A level restart from death clears most of the screen, but some garbage is still in place. I was hoping Aquatic Ruin would finish taking out the rest of the trash, but nope. Yet again, I had to start over. But the same thing happened later in Hilltop Zone. Tails seems to be the troublemaker here, so I began with Bunny alone this time and another retry later, and Casino Night Zone stopped the action. One more go, and I was finally able to complete the game, but later when I tried other regions in the 16-bit machine, that messy glitch reoccurred. With so many issues, especially with Tails tagging along, does Bunny the Rabbot in Sonic 2 work on real hardware? I have no choice but to reward this with a partial rating.
After her success in the prologue, that was not the result I was expecting. But what if we branch away from the Sonic series
and give someone else a shot? Let's see if Megaman X is up to the task. The title screen might have you thinking the whole thing is a bust because our buddy X is nowhere to be seen. Once you hit start though, you're presented with that familiar level selection screen, complete with a decent rendition of music from the first X game. Okay, let's start with the Emerald Hill Zone. X is armed with the usual and expected repertoire: a chargeable Buster arm cannon, a dash, and a wall slide. Most badniks will tank through your basic shots without even so much as flinching. You might even be tricked into thinking that they're not even taking any damage at all, because there's zero audio or visual feedback. They don't even leave any energy refills or lives after they've been taken down. Those are relegated to the breakable power-up monitors only. The dash and wall slides are largely superfluous. I expected the dash to at least help you gain momentum in the same way that the spin dash does with Sonic, but that wasn't the case here. The wall slide can only be used on solid walls, making its usefulness limited. It's all a bit generic and slow, but at least after each stage clear you'll unlock a new weapon. The screen glitches when X demonstrates the new weapon, but this also happens in an emulator. The usual armor and helmet upgrades are hidden around in each level, as well as the ability to power up your additional weapons. Even in the world of Sonic 2, it feels good to have Megaman X decked out with all the best gear. Things worked out pretty smoothly until the Sky Chase Zone. Hard crash? Address error? Okay, what is that all about? No save feature or even a pass-through system meant that it was back to the start. This same crash happened across a swath of regional and hardware variants, seemingly occurring when this specific turtle shoots out a fireball. Maybe it's a coincidence, but the evidence seems to suggest that it's not. But it didn't happen every single time, so who the heck knows? Yeah, playing this with an EverDrive allows for save states, but it's a good idea to make sure that this crash didn't happen because of the state, you know? Outside of that, the rest of the game is totally playable. So, does Megaman X and Sonic 2 work on real hardware? Taking into account the high chance of that one crash at random, I say that this one partially works. That's two that didn't quite pass the test. So, how about we try somebody more cheerful?
Yes, please.
Here's everyone's favorite lovable scamp, Kirby. Ignoring the fact that Waddle Dee has joined the goodies, this game follows in the footsteps of Kirby's adventure in Sonic 1. Kirby can suck in most enemies, which in turn destroys them, but not all badniks are affected. And if you turn off the suction power, some of these robots can begin to act odd, or outright halt their movements, take a shot, and then be on their merry way again. The outcome can be amusing at times. Nonetheless, any that do make it to Kirby's mouth aren't spat out afterwards, nor is their DNA ever copied. Kirby can also float, but only once in midair. It's more like an anti-gravitational double jump. Kirby is more basic than what we're used to in his own games, and Waddle Dee is just a watered-down Tails. No joke, he can't even spin dash, and in my opinion, it's not really worth playing as him. Just as before, the life counter acts as hit points. Increase it every 50 rings, or by hitting a checkpoint or even one-up monitors. Be careful though, each setback you take, or if you die completely, knocks a point off. Lower it to 0, and it's game over. But that's never gonna happen because Kirby can become Super Kirby, which essentially has the same elements as Super Sonic. And with the monitor's collision being the only questionable problem at rare times, does Kirby in Sonic 2 work on real hardware? Absolutely. This episode is on the mend with that yes rating. But will the next character change all that?
Where's the kitty cat?
I mean, what could possibly go wrong? All right, and here we are with the Bobcat himself in Emerald Hill Zone. Ugh, this mechanic is in the game? Take just one small fall and then you'll smash into pieces and lose a life. And it's so easy too to fall victim to this disaster. I mean, really easy. Like, very unfairly easy. And with occasional situations like this, you have no choice but to take the L. You have to glide everywhere for a safe landing, which controls nothing like Knuckles. But hey, this is accurate to his own game, so kudos. You can jump onto enemies, but only when he has his butt showing. While he's leaping, he's vulnerable, which is irritating to get accustomed to. Wanna know why? Because the rings mean almost jack shit in this game, as it's an instant shatter on contact. Becoming Super Bubsy does avoid this issue, but the fall damage is still persistent. Coincidentally, this introduces a problem with the sprites becoming a disjointed mess, but the console was able to cope. Wing Fortress Zone is impossible to finish with Bubsy, thinking he could become the tornado himself. And the only game-breaking situation was when you saw the continue screen. It would unfortunately lock up, but thanks to the level select being open by default, you could carry on where you left off, or enter Death Egg Zone this way. While I feel like this game isn't up to the standard, I can say one thing. Does Bubsy in Sonic 2 work on real hardware? Just about. Thank goodness that is over. And here is the final hack you have all been patiently waiting for.
Yoshi!
This got leaked over 7 years ago, and out of respect I avoided it on this channel, but with some blessing, that changes today. Over on Sonic Retro, this private demo escaped from the Tech Members Lounge, and as a fellow techie, I never showcased it. But after gaining some clearance, here we are, and there's the dinosaur of the hour. Sonic and Tails do tag along, but they get to ride Yoshi, as I'm about to demonstrate. You have got to be yanking my chain. All those years later, faithfully waiting for the right time to play this, and the Mega Drive is like, tra-la-la-la-la. Nope. I cannot believe this. Selecting start or continue, initiating from the options screen, or trying any stage from level select just fades to black, the music hangs, and that is that. Even trying a special stage denies us access. It didn't matter which cart, region, or add-on I applied, SRAM or no SRAM, TMSS or non-TMSS, it was a dead end. Does Yoshi in Sonic 2 work on real hardware? No. I was going to stream this game and a few others, but now I can't. What am I meant to do?
Just use an emulator like many others do.